Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout. Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, folks? Boy, they got their brains beat in, didn't they? This was a weekend, man. We had the controversy with Kennedy Carter, and then this was just oof. Wow. They look tired, man. Indiana looked tired. We're gonna talk about some of the stuff that happened during the weekend, but just thoughts on that game, man. And I noticed that in the first period, Caitlin Clark looked like she was dog tired. Nobody was running down the court, with the exception of Kelsey Mitchell. Aaliyah Boston again getting rebounds tipped away from her. Like when she brings the ball down, somebody will sneak behind her and knock the ball out of her hands and steal her rebounds. That happens. It's been happening all year. Just not a good. They look tired, man. They look tired. Twice in a week, somebody done run 100 on them. So they ran the 100 on them twice. Yeah, Jen Torino, man, listen. She does not. I don't want to use the word soft, but I understand, and I'm not going to argue with you. But you guys have heard me say this before. She has big girl's disease. And what that is when you as big as she is, she's probably been the biggest girl in school, in class, in the gym, on the team, pretty much her whole life. And girls like that, women like that, can't jump. She does not get off the ground. Nalissa Smith comes in there and skies over everybody. Now, just to compare, I don't know if you guys saw the Connecticut game, Connecticut and the Atlanta Dream. Now, Atlanta's not a bad team. And Atlanta matches up well with Connecticut because Connecticut, they have a lot of height. DeWanna Bonner, I watched her today. She reminds me of Fact Bentley. She can get up and down the court. She's active. She moves without the ball. She's got a decent jumper, and she can get up. For her to be as tall as she is and to have that type of vertical is impressive because she's thin, wiry, but she is not afraid to go up vertical and bring down them rebounds. Same thing with Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones can jump. And a lot of them girls, Ryan Howard on Atlanta, they can get up. And I'm looking at Indiana, and I'm like, y'all need some more size, and y'all need some players, some 6'3", 6'4", and 6'5" players that can get vertical. And the only person we got that can do that is Nalissa Smith. She's the only one that we have that can get vertical. And it is quite evident. Aaliyah Boston is big, but she don't play big. Yes, she gets some putback points, but she hasn't even been doing that lately. So I could imagine she'd been hearing it if she turned down if she got off of social media, because she was probably catching it. She's probably catching strays from every side. But that's not and here's the thing though, and I'll say this as a former player of a professional sport. It ain't trying to tear somebody down. It's what you see on film. Period. It's what you see on film. It ain't personal. It's all business. And the business is on the court or on the field. And right now, she's not getting it done. Missing putbacks in the paint and all of that kind of stuff. It's just nobody's scared of her. And I saw kind of going back to the Kennedy Carter thing. We'll get deeper into the Kennedy Carter thing a little bit later, but I saw a lot of commentary on social media asking, like, where were her teammates? Like, somebody should be enforcing that. And I'm like, why y'all gonna listen to Matt Barnes and what they do in the NBA? And they're not ready for that. And I'm saying they, not like, because there are other teams that do that. Indiana's not ready for that because Aaliyah Boston ain't about that life. Aaliyah Boston does not strike me as the type of girl that ought to get in somebody's face and be ready to throw down. That's the type of attitude they need. Kennedy Carter is like that. She got a history. You can go back, look it up on YouTube. That girl got kicked out of the league for a year. Not kicked out, but didn't nobody want to sign her because she was too much of a wild card. She was a hothead. So, yeah, man. Celeste Taylor, another 2 minutes of mop-up duty, wasted talent. And Christy Sides, and you guys know, maybe 4 or 5 games ago, I kept saying, like, this ain't on Christy Sides when you missing that many points in the paint and they fumbling passes and all of that kind of stuff. But at this point, Christy Sides is not going to make it through the year. She is not. You got them girls, Grace Berger sitting on the bench. Now, I will say this. Grace Berger really hasn't shown me much. But you got them. You got to play them because your team is dog tired. So now you ain't got a choice. You got to play them. 3 of your starters are out. Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Tammy Fagbenley. They're all out. So somebody got to step up. Ben Simmons type numbers. Dexter, you must be from around the Ray, bro. Because you know how down in South Jersey and Philly area, how we feel about Ben Simmons. That's fun. That was funny, dude. That was funny. Yeah, man. It was oof. Boy, they got their brains beat in tonight, boy. But Nalissa Smith, Kelsey Mitchell, and you guys know I've said this before. Kelsey Mitchell should be bringing the ball down the court every time. Period. She is the best dribbler on the team. She is arguably one of the most explosive players in the league. And there's not too many people that can check her. When she's crossing over, she's that explosive. Now, like I've said before, she gets a little out of control because she moves so fast. And sometimes she can't finish because the ball got too much heat on it. But when she drives down the middle, she collapses the defense. That means somebody on the offense, somebody on the perimeter, got to be open. They got to be able to work some plays into that. But that should be Kelsey Mitchell all day. And as soon as she gives up the ball, she need to be rolling back around so she can hit a mid-range or a 3-jumper. At least get when your shots are not falling, that's what's going to happen when you got a shooting team. Period. You can't get away from that. I don't mind if you miss shots and you had a good look because that's all you want. A good shooting team is going to shoot in the mid to upper 40s. Every now and then you might have a day where you above 50%, but if you in the mid to upper 40% shooting from the floor, you had a good night. But that means you also going to miss 6 out of 10. So missing shots when you shooters, I get it. I get it. So, Jay, you say Mitchell doesn't pass. What difference does it mean if they passing and ain't nobody hitting the shots? She the only one hitting the shots. I felt the same way about Caitlin Clark. If everybody passing up shots, but when you get them, you're not shooting, go ahead and take the shot. It can't be any worse. But I'm saying that the way Mitchell plays, nobody can really guard her. She's that explosive off the dribble. Maybe Kelsey Plum. maybe Jewel Lloyd or Enrique, but there's not too many people that she can't cross because she's that fast. So Christy Sides, you got to draw something up to take advantage of that. This is where it's on Christy Sides. That's you got to look at your personnel and you got to move the pieces on the board. You got to do something different because what you're doing ain't working. They do that same. They run that same play. They pass it up. Whoever gets the ball doesn't move, and the person that passed the ball runs back around to get the handoff, and they just kind of rinse and repeat around the perimeter until they can spread it out, and somebody usually gets a shot. But everybody knows it's coming. Every time Caitlin Clark brings the ball down the court, she moseys over to that right side, picks up her dribble, and she gets trapped. And it's like, I don't know if she's doing that on purpose. I don't know if that's drawn up, or I don't know if that's Caitlin Clark doing what she's familiar with. But she gets caught in the corner almost every time. And they always get on the one side or the other from the key, or from the middle, on the perimeter, outside the 3 arc. And then they always pick up their dribble. So they're stuck right there trying to maneuver around and find somebody to throw it to. And it's like, whew. Joe, I'm with you, man. I don't see Christy Sides lasting the year. That GM got to do something. They got to do something. Gentorino, I know they got all of them girls. Stewie, Ionescu, Vandersloot. That doesn't mean Indiana can't put up a good effort. Because look at what happened when because New York is known to go in some slumps with all of them. Indiana went on what a 8-0 run at one point. So you can get stops on them. I don't see New York beating Connecticut to represent the East. I don't see it happening. Connecticut is too good. They are too tall and they are too athletic. Watching both of them, watching at Connecticut and Atlanta today, they know how to rebound. Atlanta shot about as bad as Indiana did today. Atlanta was getting good stops on Connecticut. And then when they tried to convert, they couldn't do it. They would get stops, get the ball down on the other court, and could not put the ball in the basket for whatever reason. And they were getting looks. The shots weren't falling. And again, points in the paint was horrible for Atlanta. But Atlanta was making, I don't know what the deal was, but they got stops. They just couldn't convert. Indiana couldn't do anything tonight. That was something you would, when you playing your grandson or your kid in 2K, and they just waxing you because they know all the moves and the special places and all of that kind of stuff. They just got beat down. And in the chat, tell me what happened to Caitlin Clark. I missed it. I was away from the computer, and then when I came back, I saw in the chat everybody was talking about 2 starters out. I saw when you guys said that Aaliyah Boston got hurt, but what happened to Caitlin Clark? Football, man. I'm a football dude, bro. I'm a football dude. I wish I would have got into coaching. That's my one regret when I stopped playing professional football. The way football ended for me, it was not a good feeling, and I had a really bad taste in my mouth. So I had to step away from the game. I wish I hadn't have done that. Hindsight being 2020, I wish when I stopped playing football, I would have immediately got into coaching. So, but I would be a football coach, maybe a baseball coach because baseball was my first love. I'm from Cincinnati, played against Pete Rose Jr. And played against Ken Griffey Jr. Me and Ken Griffey went to elementary school together. He was in 2nd grade. Me and my twin sister was in 1st grade. And he got a little brother named Craig that was in kindergarten. And we went to rival high schools. Played against Griffey. First time in my athletic career that I saw scouts at a game. Griffey was a year ahead of me, and my school was known for football. We were a football powerhouse in Ohio. But a couple of other my friends and my teammates from football, we all played baseball. And Griffey went to Moeller, and we played Moeller one time, and we saw wasn't nobody ever in our baseball stands. Ever. And then we look up one day, and it's like 20, 30 people in the stands, all of them with sunglasses, notepads, and stopwatches. And we played Moeller, and they went there to watch Ken Griffey Jr., and he did not disappoint. So that's my coaching story, and I'm sticking to it. So back to the Fever. Let me see. The Fever coach should have let Clark stay in the fourth quarter and gave her the green light since it was blowout. Clark needs to find her stroke. So did Clark get hurt or not? I'm confused on that. I thought she got hurt. Something with her ear. Fregazi says. Okay. But you don't think it's going to keep her out. So what I don't understand is if she's struggling to shoot the ball, why don't she put her head down and drive to the hole and create a foul or something? I'm glad you asked that question. Let me explain that. Because I've been watching this, right? Let me get a sip of water before I get into this one. Here's what I see, and this is not exclusive to Caitlin Clark. And this is not exclusive to Indiana. This happens around the league, mostly with these short, quick guards. All right? Here's what happens. Caitlin Clark goes down the lane. Obviously, you're going to have the defender's going to be the big down low on the blocks. Normally, what happens is she tries to go in for the layup, and she tries to come in low and finger roll it. Because if she goes up high, when you're going up against a girl that's 6'3", 6'4", they're going to smack it in the stands. So they try to go low and finger roll it. Or they get that extra dribble. They try to go around the baseline and reverse it. Either way is bad for business. Because number one, you trying to go down low, and then you try to go underneath somebody's arm that's trying to block your shot, and then you try to finger roll it, and you have little to no control over that ball. And most of the time when they do that, instead of hitting the backboard, the ball bounces on the back of the rim and just rolls to the other side. Or when they do it, it's too much English on it, and it doesn't work out. And then when they try to do to reverse it, try to go underneath they either get too far underneath the basket, and then they got to dribble all the way to the other side, and they got to try to reset it, or they try to switch hands and go off the weak hand and reverse it. And again, they just it's an awkward shot, it's an awkward look, and they don't hit it. What I would like to see them do is come down the court, and right when they hit that key, where the three-point line is, go vertical and pop a little 6 to 8 foot jumper. Now, Grace Berger does that, but she does it closer to the free throw line on either side of the free throw line. And I like that shot. She's hit a few. Most of the time she's missing, but I like the shot. I like what her thinking is because nobody comes out to challenge her, and you should be able to make that shot. She just hasn't played enough. She don't have her stroke with her. She ain't got no type of rhythm. But I would like to see when they drive in the lane, Kelsey Mitchell does this too. The other, was it the Las Vegas game? Kelsey Mitchell just blew by whoever was guarding her. I mean, she was gone, right? Down in the lane, and she was moving so fast that she couldn't get any body control to finish the layup. And the ball just kept coming off her hand hot, and it would bounce off the backboard and she had too much heat on it. It was too much pepper on it. So she gave up 6 points that should have been like layups because she was moving too fast. So that's what I mean by collapsing the defense and then also moving too fast. You don't have enough body control to slow the ball down or slow your body down and get a good shot off the backboard. What should be a normal layup. If you play basketball, you know that feeling before. You hauling ass down the court and you go get airborne and you got just too much speed and you put a little bit too much on the ball and it just bounces right off and you miss the layup. It's happened to everybody. But I see Kelsey Mitchell do that. And I would rather, and again, she does the same thing. She tries to go underhand or she tries to go on underneath and reverse it. Sometimes she's successful and sometimes they are successful. Most of the time they are not. I would rather see him get to the bottom and stop and pop. So like, uh-oh. There we go. Thank you. I'm all jacked up, ain't I? Here we go. Much better. So, but what I'm saying is this right here, right? They get the ball up here, they drive down the lane, and this is where all the traffic's gonna be. This is where all the bigs is gonna be. So what I would like to see is somewhere in between here, all the way in the paint. Stop and pop. You're talking about 8 to 10 feet jump shot. A little bit higher percentage than way back here. Definitely higher percentage than being outside the arc shooting a three. And in some situations, you still might have the opportunity to get an and one. But it can't be any worse than you hauling ass down the paint and you get out of control and you end up losing the ball and turning it over. So I say take the jump shot. Clark got her ear slammed. Doctor looked into the ear hole on the sideline, took her back to the lockers. Possible injured eardrum. Yeah, that ain't good because that could throw off your equilibrium. Might even be concussion protocol. Huh. So, and I saw it for the first time today. I'm glad you said that, Gentorino. I saw it for the first time today in the Atlanta game, and I believe it was Ryan Howard. She missed the shot. But I'm glad she took it. Ryan Howard fired up a baby hook, a baby sky hook, and I'm like, finally, nobody's using that shot, and that is a unblockable shot when you do it right. So I hope I see it more from them bigs that play down low. That's what Boston needs. A baby hook shot, a baby sky hook. Because her putting the ball going forward, trying to get to the glass, she gonna always come up against opposition. And because of her limited vertical, a lot of her shots are getting blocked. That's just observational film study. Bible boy, I wouldn't say quit. I do not use that word lightly. I don't like it. And I don't think Caitlin Clark quit, but I will say her body language was of major frustration and fatigue. After all of that stuff that happened with Kennedy Carter and everything, the girl is mentally and physically fatigued. And they need a break. And you guys that have been with me long enough, anybody that got a wrench, you already know. I've been saying this since day one. That full NCAA season catches up with you. That fatigue is real. That is the real deal. And it is catching up with it. Night after night, plus travel. That's a road to home. So Gentorino, that's a little bit much, man. She was the first round pick. I have no doubt that she'll succeed. The question is, how successful will she be? You know what I'm saying? Because you look a lot of them. Grace Berger was the what, sixth pick? She not playing. Daisha Fair got cut. And let me be honest with you. I wish Daisha Fair would go to Indiana and they would get with Erica Wheeler. But that's probably not going to happen. So I don't think, she'll keep battling. She's just tired. I would expect her to be much better next year than she is this year. And not for nothing, well, until this game, she was 14th in scoring. I think she was 14th in scoring. Let me see. She was there we go. I wanted to show my tweet. So yeah, I saw this post from Bleacher Report with what Kennedy Carter said. And I posted a response, and I was like, well, since she asked, spelling error should be Clark, not V-Lark. But Clark is ranked number 4 in assists in the league. And this is per average. So assists per game. So she's number 4 in assists, and she's number 16, ranked 16th in points per game. So, yeah, Gentorino, that average is gonna drop. So she's probably gonna drop probably in the 20 somewhere. But up to this point, you 4th in assists, you top 20 in the league in scoring. That ain't bad for a rookie. If she can hit some more of them shots, and I keep begging on the drum about her taking some closer mid-range shots rather than everything being a damn 3. I think that hurts her. Look at that. That's horrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She was 1 for 10. She shot 10% tonight. That's it. She shot 10%. And all she got to do is move over here in this area. My logic is, if your shots are not falling, you get in, you drive the lane, then the next time you shoot a 6 to 10 foot, then the next time you shoot a 10 to 15 foot, you just keep backing it up until you find yourself outside of the arc, and then you dropping threes, but you slowly but surely get your stroke back. Because the only way for a shooting to break out of a slump is to keep shooting. And I understand that. But she got to make it, she's making it too hard on herself. She ain't really shot good threes all year. So, other than Kelsey Mitchell, and Alyssa Smith, what else they got? Erica Wheeler is not getting it done. Lexi Hole and what's her name? Wallace. Now Wallace can spot up and shoot. But this kind of goes back into the X's and O's I was talking about with Christy Sides. You got to draw up some plays to get some of these people open. But just like anything, if you only got one player on your team that's hitting shots, you are not going to win at all. And if you look at the box scores, New York, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. New York had 5 people in doubles. And the ones that didn't make it, Vandersloot had 9 points with 7 assists. Fibich had 8 points. So they had people close, but you got Lainey, is it Lainey Harrison? She had 20 points. Stewie had 13 points. Jonquel Jones had 18 points. and Sabrina Ionescu had 16 points. So, and talking about Jonquel Jones, she's another one. Jonquel Jones, watch how this girl gets up, 6'6", and goes up and gets rebounds. She can jump. She got a vertical. She ain't waiting for the ball to come down to her. And to me, that's what Aaliyah Boston. That is my coach's observation of Aaliyah Boston. She does not play strong. Jonquel Jones plays strong. She goes up to get the rebounds. She's got nice touch. She even got a little shake and reverse move and can hit a jumper, and she can hit a three. So she got it like that. And she's 6'6". So I want to see more from them. Yeah. Benesia Laney Hamilton. And let's see what happened to let me see. Yeah, so Aaliyah Boston is listed as 6'5". In my honest opinion, she is heavier than 220. That is why she is slogging up and down the court. 10.9 points a game, almost 7 rebounds with 6.9, couple of assists, and almost 1 steal a game. But tonight she was 5, 4, and 3. Her plus minus was a negative 26. Good Lord. Yeah. Yeah, John. I mean, Victoria Saxton even scored tonight. So, did they say what happened to Aaliyah Boston? How did she get hurt? I saw in the chat that she got hurt, but how did she get hurt? So, I tell you what, man. See, man, I said this before. You can see where Caitlin Clark passes up open shots to run the offense because she don't want to make it seem like she a ball hog. But the way they shoot, you might as well take the shot. Yeah, Boston need to lose some weight because it's not. She just don't look like she's athletic down there low. And again, you 6'5", and you got a little guard coming up behind you and taking your rebounds. That's bad for business, man. Aaliyah Boston had ankle injury. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm sure there's gonna be more made of it in the next couple days, but yeah, I saw the body language, man. It wasn't pretty. Y'all like my cup? Family friend made this to me. She found a picture of me and made a cup out of it. Made an Eagles cup. NFL alumni. That was at the Eagles Super Bowl parade when I got my hands on the trophy. Yeah, see, man, she does need to knock down shooters. Christy Side's gonna have to play everybody right now. You must be talking about Caitlin. I just think she need to start out inside. Everything don't have to be outside the perimeter, outside that arc, man. Because the last 3 games, she really hasn't been on. Caitlin Clark should be averaging 20-something points a game. But she's missing like 7 to 8 shots a game. She's, 3 for 10, 6 for 14. Like, she's missing way too many shots. So I'm like, dude, scoot you behind the end. Take a little higher percentage shot and see if that don't work for you. Because the other stat that you got to look at for Indiana is points points off of turnovers. Oh, thank you, Gentorino. I do not believe CTA France says, I do not believe this team as a team will recover from the past 3 weeks. A few days rest is not going to fix it. I agree. And whatever they do for their All-Star weekend is busy. So when Caitlin Clark needs to rest, she got to play in the All-Star game. She is going to be on the All-Star team. They'd be stupid not to have her on the All-Star team. So, yeah, I think they need to try to use Caitlin Clark how they use Wallace. Just they need to move around. And you know what? And another observation from me about Caitlin Clark does not move without the ball very well. Sometimes you find her in La La Land just kind of looking up. Defensively, she is not moving to get rebounds at all. Now, she is quick enough where she sees a good bounce, she'll take off and get it, and she can get steals like that as well. But when it comes to positioning yourself to get a rebound, they don't do that. Indiana does not position themselves for defensive rebounds at all. And it is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. You looking at, for the game, they had 9 offensive rebounds and 19 defensive rebounds versus the 33 defensive rebounds from New York. You do the math. When they shoot a shot, offensive rebounds, when they shoot a shot, everybody's gone. It's either going in or we going to the other side of the court. Because nobody tries to get in to get an offensive board, to get it put back. It seems like when they shoot like that, it's all or nothing. And everybody's headed back to see, to play defense. So that's coaching. That is coaching. So I'll put that on sides. So they got it was what? 31-13 at the end of the first period. 31-13. And these are just my notes that I wrote down. Because it's funny because now I'm what you consider invested. Because this is what I do when I watch NFL football, when I watch the Eagles. I will sit down and I will track every play, make notes about every play. And then at halftime, I'll go out in the backyard and I give a halftime report live on YouTube or something like that. And I'm doing the same thing with the WNBA. 31-13 into the first period. Aaliyah Boston still getting rebounds taken from her. CC's body language looks horrible. I made a note of that. Caitlin Clark did. She looked bad. Indiana was 27.8% from the floor and 14% from three at the end of the first period. Their shooting was god-awful. And then going into the second, first thing I put is Caitlin Clark finally hits a three. That was her lone make. Jonquel Jones is an athlete. I put Jonquel Jones is just as athletic as Nalissa Smith, but you're talking about 3 inches taller. Jonquel Jones can spin, move around, go up vertical, get a pull down, a rebound, all of that. Second period, I made a note. Indiana looks sloppy and fatigued. So, nothing you can really do about that. They gotta, that's not a Christie size thing. They look sloppy and fatigued. They continue to miss layups in the paint. I made a note of that. Kelsey Mitchell is helping to keep the score respectable. Now, mind you, this is in the second period. Kelsey Mitchell was the only one trying to keep it respectable. They was down by 20 something at one point, brought it back to like 12, and then immediately let New York go on a 7-0 run or something like that, and then pushed the lead right back out there. And it was back and forth, but it really wasn't. New York had full control of this game from the tip off. Jonquel Jones tips it to Brianna Stewart, and she don't even have to touch the ball. She took 3 steps and she was laying it up. Great tip off by Jonquel Jones. And also, at least in my opinion, did it seem to you like the fouls were being called like real fouls all of a sudden? Like, I didn't see too many of the ladies throwing their hands up in the air like called a foul. I saw a little bit, but it wasn't like it was in the past. I wonder if they finally got that memo from Kathy Engelbert or something like that. Because all the games that I saw today, they were still physical. They were still fluid. There was a lot of chopping and girls getting on the floor going for loose balls and things of that nature. But when they were blowing the whistle, they were blowing the whistle for fouls. Now, the whole situation with Kennedy Carter and that, in my opinion, that whole scenario could have been avoided if they would have just called the fouls. If you want to say Caitlin Clark kind of elbowed her in the neck and then was jawing at her and then came back down the court, so be it. That's part of the game. Talking shit is part of the game. Physical play is part of the game. However, Kennedy Carter crossed the line when she blindsided the girl and the ball wasn't even in play. I will accept that Caitlin Clark may have somehow got an elbow in and then said something to her on the way back down. I saw the tape. That's exactly what happened. But that was in the line of play. It was a scrum for the ball. Everybody was moving around trying to do things. So it wasn't, outlandishly purposeful until you got to the other side. And then, Kennedy Carter said what she said and did what she did. So, Tatiana, New York is a good team. They got vets. They got arguably the greatest college basketball player ever in Brianna Stewart. Sabrina Ionescu was no joke either. And I've said this before. Sabrina Ionescu is what Caitlin Clark should be watching film of. That's who you need to model your game after. Because Ionescu can shoot those deep threes, and she can drive, and she can steal, and she can rebound. So that is the comp that Caitlin Clark needs, in my opinion. So, but yeah, that was a nightmare game. CC cannot quit on her teammates. She knew the fever would rebuild mode, and the season was not. Where is this coming from? I don't see it as she quit. Listen, man, y'all gotta understand. Everybody goes through this. If you play a sport, especially if you play a professional sport, everybody's gonna go through this. You're not gonna automatically get on the team and all of a sudden you playing with the Lakers, or all of a sudden you playing with the Patriots when they were winning, and all of a sudden your rookie year you going to the Super Bowl or you playing in the championship. That don't happen. They got to take their lumps like everybody else. So she's not quitting on her teammates, but you are used to a certain lifestyle. Caitlin Clark is coming from the cornfields of Iowa, where she was the biggest thing out there, rightfully so. And now she's getting a dose of reality where people don't like her. The team isn't any good. The coach really isn't any good. And she got to deal with that stuff. You coming from the best of the best, and you just done took this career pay cut. But everybody goes through that at one point in time. Everybody can't make it to the finals every year. So it's got to be some people to lose. So she'll be fine. She'll get used to it. She'll understand it. She will definitely understand it. So it's unfortunate that a lot of the stuff that's happening to her has happened when, in my opinion, the WNBA could have stepped in and made the situation a little bit better. They didn't. They didn't. The only thing you had to do as the commissioner of the league, you send a memo out to the referees. Start calling the fouls. The non-fouls, the non-calls were horrible. Horrible. And it wasn't just on Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese. It was across the league. And it was very noticeable. Very noticeable. So I hope they, like I said, this was the first game I watched, the Atlanta game, and I watched, what was the other one? What was the other game I watched? Well, their website leaves a lot to be desired. Sheesh. Ugh. Yes, Connecticut and Atlanta, LA and Phoenix. That was the other game. And I did not see Dallas and Minnesota. And not for nothing, all of this stuff that happened over the weekend with Caitlin Clark, Kennedy Carter, and all of this mess that happened. And the biggest story of the weekend we just got skipped over, and that was Alyssa Peely peeling off 20 points for Minnesota. That chick from Utah was getting it in. She got it in. That was her coming out party. And it got overshadowed by the dumb shit. What you saying, John? W owes it to the people seeing this level of crap, especially those, yes, new to the W because of the player they came here for. Absolutely, man. Y'all got to check out my video. I did a video this morning. Last I checked, it was, for me, it was kind of going viral because overnight I got like 15,000 views. For me, that is, if I can get like 10,000 views on a video, that's doing something for me. So when I get 20, and the best video I've ever done was about Ryan Clark when he left ESPN, and that got 69,000 views. This one, I posted it like late last night. And then when I woke up this morning, it was like 15,000 strong. I said, damn. And it was still rolling during the day. So right now I'm at 23,000, 23.7. With my click-through rate at 5.2%. That's pretty damn good for a video. But let me see if I can. I'm gonna show you. Like I kind of went off on it. I kind of snapped. It's called Stop Effing with the Money. So make sure you check that out on my channel. Stop Effing with the Money. Let me see if I can get it up. Of course, they're going to play ads. Carter got a history, man. She got a history. So ain't really much you can do. It is what it is with her. So yeah, this was my video I produced last night. I'm gonna play a little snippet. Y'all gotta go check it out. Hold on. What's going on? This is Coach Marcus from Pro Fan Call. Hope y'all can hear that. I finally watched the game, and I finally seen the play with Kennedy Carter and Kennedy Clark. My initial thoughts, I thought it was a cheap shot. Obviously, it's a cheap shot. There is no misunderstanding. But I saw a couple of comments where people were like, yeah, that was the reason why I left my background black. It was because I wanted to, I just wanted to let people know I was mad. I know that sounds corny, but I don't know. I was like, I'm going to leave it black because I'm mad. I don't want no bright vibrant background. Like, I'm pissed off about this shit. It's like, stop messing with the money, man. Take your lumps. Call the physical games, but just call the fouls the way they're supposed to be called. That's it. You ain't got to give her no special favors or nothing like that. Just call the game the way it's supposed to be called. So it was a little bit better today in the games that I saw today. So hopefully that will continue. And hopefully Caitlin Clark can get some rest and she's not going to miss any time because Indiana, they need all the help they can get, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So, but the gloves are off this week. Remember what I told you. Once a team gets to 10 games, the gloves are off. All opinions. Now you can't say, well, they ain't played enough games yet. 10 games is a good enough sample size to see what you got. Plenty big enough. So now the gloves come off, and you don't have to beat around the bush about what you see. It is what it is. If Caitlin Clark's shooting percentage hasn't gotten any better in 10 games, don't expect it to. But if it does, that's icing on the cake. Because now, in my opinion, 10 games is a big enough track record. So you can say, this is what I've seen, so this is what I expect. That's fair. That's fair. Yo, Gentorino, bro, I was... Hold on. I'm gonna show you when they got heated. Listen to this. This is when they started getting heated.
You get all the black girls gunning for the white girl. That's what it looks like. And all these people, all the content creators that want to come out and throw the isms, you giving them the ammo. Y'all f***ing with the money. Stop f***ing with the money. I don't give a damn if you like Caitlin Clark or not. Whatever your feelings are, the girl is putting money in everybody's pocket.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Do you think CC would be going through the issues she's having if she was on the Aces? I agree with that 100%, Daryl. 100% I agree. She would not be going through the same stuff. She has nobody to really protect her right now. Kelsey Mitchell's coming off an injury. So she's trying to get back to the all-star that she was. Aaliyah Boston just ain't built like that. Maybe Nalissa Smith. Nalissa Smith looked like she got a little spark in her. But they don't have no goons on that team. They don't have nobody like that. Alyssa Smith slammed Angel Reese in that game a couple days ago. She wouldn't have done that to anybody from Atlanta because they match up in size and they got a little attitude. So they don't, in my opinion, Indiana doesn't have a enforcer like that. That seems to be the popular thing. Aaliyah, somebody needs to come and advocate for and be an enforcer. And you smash my player, I'm gonna smash yours. That's what Matt Barnes was alluding to. But I was like, they ain't got nobody on the team to do that. You're not gonna sign Liz Cambridge to be a goon. She got enough issues to deal with. That was the topic in some forums today. Bring back Liz Cambridge, and it's like they don't want that problem. They're trying to put out a good product because now they got all of these sponsors, and that's the problem. That's the biggest problem with the whole situation with Kennedy Carter. You represent in the league now. They got you back in after they kicked you out. You played overseas for a year and you bounced around and you finally got on the team. You know what your history is. You gonna mess around and get promoted to fan. You got to under people, and this is this. How do I say this? This is the real part of professional sports when it goes mainstream. When you go mainstream, the last 4, 5, 6 years, last 5 to 10 years with the WNBA, they were not mainstream, far from it. The fans they had liked the product, but the fans that they had weren't making enough money to get charter flights and get a bump in pay and all of the stuff that they've been clamoring for. Here comes Caitlin Clark with the recipe that built up that social media following and everything that come with that. And Angel Reese was the same way. And it gets dumped in your lap. And for all intent and purposes, it is as advertised. Caitlin Clark is shit. She was leading the rookie. She might still be leading all rookies in scoring. Caitlin Clark's been good. Angel Reese has been good. Cameron Brink has been good. Rakia Jackson has been solid. Kate Martin, when she get her spots, she's been good. But all of them other teams, they got somebody to the pressure is not on those rookies. The pressure ain't on Angel Reese. Angel Reese, all she got to do is get rebounds. That's it. She gonna get a couple of putbacks every night. All she got to do is pull down rebounds. She got one job. So, unfortunately, all things are not created equal. So you got some players, some rookies that are protected because you got other stars on the team. What would Caitlin Clark be like if you had Sabrina Ionescu on this team? Same style of play, but Sabrina Ionescu is just a better player at this point in time. That means she can protect and keep her, let me show you how it's done. Defer to me when you got a problem. That's what she would do. But she ain't got nobody like that. Caitlin Clark does not have anybody like that. Aaliyah Boston ain't it. Aaliyah Boston in that capacity is not the answer. Actually, Tammy Fack Bentley was the answer because she's a veteran, 31 years old, still get up and down the court with urgency. She was the one. She was the one. And then she got hurt. So Reese is fired, but she showed her true colors the other day. When Kennedy Carter cheap shot her and she jumped off the bench, clapping and hugging and all that kind of stuff, she lost a lot of people. And I'm not talking about me. I still like Caitlin. I still like Angel Reese. But that was, and I've heard some people before say that she was fake. I've heard people say that, not me. People in the media, and some people just don't like the way she comes off. Sides has been the problem from the jump. When Caitlin realized her team and coach didn't have her back and destroyed her confidence. Nah, I'm not going that far, Ron. You know why? Because if that's really what it is with Caitlin Clark, then she don't deserve to be in the WNBA in the first place. If you are a professional and playing a professional sport, you are playing at the top 1% of your class. So there are some prerequisites. And one of those prerequisites is you have to be mentally strong. Because shit is going to come your way. Case in point. All the stuff that she's dealing with, and she was still leading most of the rookies and all of the stats and all. She was having a good year. It just didn't look like it because Indiana was a bad team, is a bad team. But she's doing what she can do. She just gotta, she gotta get some rest, figure out how to get her legs about her, and start hitting more of them jumpers. You know what? We talked about that earlier. I was trying to reach out to some people on Twitter about rivalries because ESPN says um, um, the Fever and New York rivalry is renewed, and I'm like, well, were they a rival before? Is this like the Cowboys and the Eagles? Is it that type of rivalry? I don't even know what the rivalries are. Does LA hate New Las Vegas? Does Dallas hate Minnesota? Does Atlanta hate Chicago? I don't know. I don't know where these rivalries sit. I know why they said it because of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. But is that really the case? Probably not. When you watched the assault last night, Boston stood and saw the whole thing instead of stalking Carter and confronting her. She casually walks, hard offer a handout. That again, Aaliyah Boston is not about that life. At least it appears to me. You gotta know your personnel. Y'all remember when I told this story? If you're new, I'm gonna tell it again. When I was a football coach, coaching kids, I had the biggest, strongest, fastest kid that was on our team, but he was a sweet kid. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Always did what his mom told him to do. Always had his homework done before he came to practice. All of that kind of stuff. He was a good mannered, sweet kid. That is not the kid I can go say, man, take that quarterback's helmet off and make sure you get me the ball. Take his helmet off. Knock his block off. I can't tell that kid that because he's not that type of kid. He don't have that type of dog mentality or that rough personality that you need to do something like that. And that's what Caitlin Clark dealing with at Indiana. I don't think Aaliyah Boston is that type of tough. She wasn't starting too many fights when she was growing up. And that's okay. But now you know you got a need and you got to feel that need. So maybe would they look at somebody from overseas or who knows? I honestly don't know what that situation is like. Do they have a trade deadline? Yeah, man. She don't just not that's just not her makeup. That's not her makeup. You right, John, you right. But still, um, in a situation like that, it's gonna take somebody to get in Kennedy Carter's face. A good example of you looked at what's the girl from Atlanta? Her and Jackie Young got into it, nose to nose. And they were, pretty much going at it. But you're talking about two people that wasn't going back down. That's what they need, and we ain't got nobody like that. Maybe Kelsey Mitchell, maybe, because Kelsey don't look like she'll, she ain't scared either. But you don't see her in that situation. Yeah, Ron, I think she. I mean, at the end of the day, she a shooter. She a rookie shooter. She gonna struggle, period. And the only way to keep from struggling is to keep shooting. So she'll be fine. She'll shoot her way out of it. Everybody else does. Ezra McBeggar would have showed Carter a lesson, possibly. Possibly, but she wasn't here, was she? So that's what happens, man. That's what happens. But at least, like I said before, at least it seemed like the referees were calling normal fouls. They weren't letting too much stuff slide. And maybe they got the memo that the beginning of the year, this has got to go better. It's got to go right. So we'll see what's going to happen, man. We'll see what's going to happen. But I feel bad for him. Christy Sides is at her wit's end, and you can tell because her press conferences, she be searching for stuff to say, and she can't find nothing good to say. But it's part of the job. That's why you get paid. So, but I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. It was a good game. Good game. We had a good stream. So we rolled for about an hour. And that works for me. So gonna be a busy week. Hopefully these guys are gonna come in and get this carpet done, and I can start organizing and getting a new office together. So hopefully to have some new stuff for y'all to look at. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Chat was lit tonight, man. I like that. I always loved it when the chat is lit and people asking questions, because I do not want to have a monologue. I want to have a conversation. So y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man. I'm gonna go get me some water ice, chill out, and maybe sit in the bed with the wife and watch some TV and just chill out. All right. And if you haven't seen my video about messing with the money, please go to the site, go to my channel, watch it in its entirety. I would greatly appreciate that. And make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, because we are growing. Oh, and I had to say this. Almost forgot. I am officially, hold on. Hold your horses. I know there's a way to do this. Hold up. Is that it? No. Oh, there we go. I am officially above the 3,000 mark. Boom. It is official. After I put out the video last night, I was at like 2948 or something like that. And then when I woke up this morning, I had 3,100 subs on my channel. So I am ecstatic. Another goal reached. My goal is to reach 5,000 before the NFL season starts. And my long-term goal is to get to 10,000 before the end of the calendar year. So I got a lot of work to do, man. But this is a huge step for me. Huge. Because I remember when I was battling to get to 1,000. When I was at like 560 subscribers, and it felt like forever to get to 600, and then to get to 700, and then finally make it over 1,000, and I can get monetized and all of that kind of stuff that comes with that. Then I was like, man, when am I going to ever hit 2,000? And it kind of rinses and repeats, but it does get easier. And it seems like the more your numbers grow, the more response you get. And now, like, I legit got a family. I got a squad of people, of regulars. That's what you're looking for. This is what they call organic growth. I didn't put out a viral video. I didn't get 1 million clicks. Nothing. I did it the old-fashioned way. So when I say I appreciate everybody, I appreciate everybody, because you guys know I'm engaged in this chat. I'm trying to talk with people. I'm trying to talk. I will spend 45 minutes and go through almost every comment on my videos. I try to reply to them all, because I know at some point in time, if my goals are met, I'm not going to be able to do that because it's going to be too many people. So I want to be able to connect with you guys now, man. So I appreciate all the help. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate all of the subscribes. I appreciate when you guys are in the chat telling people to smash the like button, all of that kind of stuff, man. All of that kind of stuff. Daisy, you got to invite some more female friends, because I love to have female voices in these chats. I want to talk to everybody. And you just want to keep it going, man. So I just wanted to say thank you. Appreciate the support. Thank you for being part of my family. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless. Be safe. Have a good week. And I will see you in the next one, man. All right. Peace.